Hello YouTube, and welcome to my first ever video of Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time. Absolutely love it. Let's get started with a new game.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
you're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
Alright, for our name, we're gonna go with James Huntington. That sounds cool.
I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
Alright, so for our character, I'm gonna do a classic sneak sniper build. And how do I want to do this? I've actually always gone with the Caucasian preset too, and just customize it from there, because I feel it looks most like me. But here we'll go with something else. Let's go with this guy. Give him a few years. Hairstyle. Not a fan of the mohawk, so we'll go... Sarge looks pretty good. Hair color. We'll go... He's gonna be older. And facial hair. Yeah, I'll give him a rough beard.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet. Good. Why don't you walk down to the end of the room? Over by that vigor tester machine there. Take it slow now. It ain't a race. Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try. We'll learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
Alright. We are going to go with a strength of 6, a perception of 7, an endurance of 4, charisma of 1, because I'm going to be popping heads, not making names. Intelligence, we'll keep that at 5. Agility, put it up to 7, and luck will go full 10, just for those critical hits.
With luck like yours, I'm surprised the bullets didn't just turn right around and climb back into the gun.
Sorry,
Well,
I'm clearing and
your
coughing.
vitals are good.
Clearing my throat
But
and
that
coughing
don't
so
mean
much,
them
I haven't
bullets didn't leave
been
you
feeling the
nuttered
best.
before dropping. What do you say you take
So
a seat
for the
in my
on-screen
couch
tutorial
and
at
we
the
go
top
through a
left,
couple
there's
of
actually like a bunch
if
of
your
stuff,
dog
and like
is
these
so
to
bark.
pick it up and just throw it around. And this skull, actually, if you pick it up, it'll tell you. It'll give you a prompt. At the top left if it loads. Good. Now push E again to let it go of the skull. I always thought that was neat. It's like the game wants you to trash Doc Mitchell's house.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog. House.
Here you can also get Doc Mitchell to give you some funny dialogue if you say some darker things.
Night.
Here we'll go for it.
Bandit.
Stab.
Light.
Heavy.
Mother.
Human shield.
Sometimes when you give tests like this, you learn more than you was hoping for, and I reckon that ain't always the best thing. But I guess maybe it explains a thing or two about your predicament. Okay, now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one, conflict just ain't in my nature.
I'm gonna disagree with that one.
I ain't given to relying on others for support. I'm always fixin' to be the center of attention.
Nope.
I'm slow to embrace new ideas. I
Disagree.
charge in to deal with my problems head on.
Agree.
Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see.
That, to me, looks like an angry two-headed ant.
Okay. How about this one?
That looks like a ship at sea to me.
Last one.
That looks like a two bears high-fiving, but we don't have that option because I don't have that mod. So we're going to go with a bearded man.
Well,
In
that's
the
all
comments
she
below,
wrote.
let me tell you
I
what
don't
you
have
see
nothing
in
to
the
compare
Rorschach
it to,
test.
so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
Alright. Tag skills, we're going to go guns, sneak, and repair. And we're going to do some minor skills along the way, which are going to be survival and medicine, because medicine is really good for stim packs, even though I don't use them that much. And survival is really good for some of the perks down the road.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Right, and for our traits, we're going to go with Built to Destroy. Just for that 3% critical chance. And our Repair is going to help us with the Decay. And Fast Shot's okay, but I'm not a fan of the bad accuracy. So I usually go with Trigger Discipline. So you're slow, but you're 20% more accurate. I'm just going to be using semi-automatic handguns and bolt-action rifles the whole game, so speed really doesn't matter.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
Just gonna steal everything from Doc Mitchell real quick. Just has a few meds, has this laser pistol. And I've played this game countless times. It is genuinely, with all my heart, my favorite game of all time. I played it a bunch on the Xbox 360. A bunch on the Xbox One, and then when I finally got a PC, I've played it on here ever since. $45.70. That's actually dropping it. Alright, let's head out.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on, too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Never was much my style, anyway.
Thanks for patching me up, Doc.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out, too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
And I'm not going to do a hardcore run, but if you'd like to see a hardcore run down the road, let me know down in the comments. Here we are, Goodsprings. And yes, I am playing with mods, but nothing that changes the game. It's all just stability and bug fixes and The one that changes the game the most is probably simple DLC delay, which you'll see down the road of the playthrough, and I'll explain to it when we get there. We're going to go to items. I'm not going to use any of this. I'm going to use a 9mm pistol for a little bit. Honestly, actually, no. I'm just going to use 10mm. The other 10mm is so good. And I actually just used the Armor Vault 13 jumpsuit because it is... I mean, it's a little heavier than the lightweight leather armor, but it just looks cooler in my opinion. And just a pre-war hat for the added perception of the looks. I do have, I think it's the Clarity mod, so I took off the yellow exchange because I never was a fan of it.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. The way I heard it, I didn't think you'd be walking out of that office. I've got plenty of supplies for sale. Even got some weapon mods and special ammo. Well worth the caps if you ask me. If you're hurting for caps, I've also got boxes of surplus ammo in the miscellaneous section. They're not great, but you get what you pay for.
I always thought Chet was kind of a dick, because he just kind of tries to rip you off all the time.
Can do.
Especially at the one quest. And pretty easy way to get all of his caps, just sell everything. And there, got all of it just by selling the weapons. And I'm gonna buy... see if he has any varmint rifle upgrades, and no, he doesn't. Of course not. I usually just wait for days here to try and get the varmint rifle upgrades, because it's really good early game. Get the suppressor. The scope is the most important one. I always go for the scope right at the start. Just gives you that extra bit of range.
Give me a shout if you need anything. Take it easy now.
And I'm going to be using the varmint rifle for most of the early game.
You looking to buy some supplies? It's all about quantity over quality. Trouble is, you'll be cleaning and fixing your gun a lot more than usual when you use those kind of bullets.
Tell me about
weapon mods are things like silencers, scopes, bigger magazines. Special ammo includes things like armor-piercing bullets, which don't hurt the target as much, but let you punch through armor easier. There's also hollow point bullets, which have the opposite effect. You can kill unarmored targets easier, but they don't do shit against armor.
Do you know anything about the people
The leader
who
was a New Vegas type. Typical city boy. He had a bunch of Great Khans with him, probably hired guns. The Great Khans normally stay in their own territory way up northwest, on account of them being enemies with the NCR.
Have you ever been to New Vegas?
Twice. Both times I drank a lot of liquor and lost most of my caps at the card tables. In that order, now that I think about it. If you ever get to New Vegas, be sure to visit Gomorrah. It's the best casino in the city. You won't regret it. Word of advice, behave. Between the NCR military police and Mr. House's robots, you don't want to be causing trouble on the strip.
I'd like to know more about Mr. House.
I'm afraid I don't know much myself. Mr. House has got his own casino, Lucky 38, but nobody goes in or out except his robots. The other casinos follow Mr. House's rules, so I guess that makes him the leader of New Vegas. As far as I know, nobody's ever laid eyes on the guy. I think that robot who pulled you out of the dirt belongs to Mr. House. If Mr. House is looking after you, it's got to be a good thing, right?
Anything else you can tell me about the Great Khans?
They're tough sons of bitches. Mean, but not crazy. They'll leave you alone unless you got something they want. The Great Khans deal in illegal chems. There's a good chance that most chems you come across were made by Great Khans.
Goodbye.
Take it easy now.
No shit, I will.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Doc Mitchell said he could teach me to survive in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
always kind of rush the beginning of New Vegas, just as anyone else does. But I never do the Xander Root and Brock Flower quest. It's just, I don't know, I feel it's a waste of my time. And actually, the
Now,
Xander
see the
Root
sarsaparilla bottles on
is
the
supposed
fence?
to spawn up there.
Take this and try to
The
hit a couple
graveyard.
of them.
There will be bullet flies there if you go
That's the right idea. Try crouching down and staying still.
the quest.
It'll help you. Nice shot.
But if not, they
Well,
aren't
that's
there.
a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
I'm in.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
Now the Varmint rifle is actually surprisingly really good. Eventually I'm going to do a more mod playthrough and I'll use the J Sawyer mod, which actually made by, Joshua Sawyer, one of the lead developers of Fallout New Vegas. And it makes the Varmint rifle shoot 22 LR instead of 5.56, but still it's one of the best performing early game weapons if you're going to do a sneak sniper build, honestly. Now, I usually like to sneak on these guys, but if anything goes wrong, I just pull out the leather 10mm pistol. It's honestly a very overpowered weapon early game. The J Sawyer mod will also relocate all of the pack items at the beginning of the game. So the Mercenaries pack, the Tribal pack, all that stuff. I do have the Fallout 4 loot menu for this. We'll talk to Sunny. I like to go up to save the one Goodsprings settler just because she gives you some extra caps for it, and it gets you some Goodsprings fame. Really easy way to get idolized here, and I just like to get idolized.
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me. Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me.
It also gets you a good amount of ammo right there, so... Sorry about the Steam notifications. I'll make sure to turn off the Steam overlay. I completely forgot to do it before I started recording. And right here, actually, is one of the only 2 shovels in the game. The shovel is the rarest in the game. Because there are only 2 of them. This one right here, and the one that Chet sells. And they're actually really important if you need to, well, grave rob. Which can be beneficial, like up at the Goodsprings Cemetery at the Yangtze Memorial. You can get some pretty good crap out of it.
Get him off! Well, that's the end of that. Hey there. Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty.
Gets you accepted.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested?
No need. I think I've got it covered from here.
Okay, Say no more. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
So this is the point in the game where I always just rush right to the end of the Goodsprings quest. And because I've played this game so much, I actually never fast travel. I kind of just walk everywhere because I find it more enjoyable, you know, just to explore, see the world. Depending what you say in the comments, I don't want the playthrough to be too boring. But let me know. Do you want me to fast travel or do you want me to completely skip it? Coyotes are some easy early game XP. We also one hit with the sneak. And I'm not playing on survival, so I never take the meter hides because I honestly don't need it. But in, sorry, hardcore, not survival. Food's actually really useful. And I can show you a good spot to get some really good food very early on in the game. You can usually just speed right through here. I do have some reanimation packs, but they're nothing crazy. I don't recommend a SIRS reanimation pack. I will leave a link in the description to Viva New Vegas, which is the modding guide I used. I've played with a full playthrough with all the mods installed, but right now I'm just playing with up to the visuals. I didn't do any of the gameplay stuff, but if you go up to the visuals, your game will run no crashes whatsoever. Like, I'm recording this right now, and it's running perfectly stable. What is your RCW right there? Very good to sell at early game. Easy, like, 300 caps. I mean, I have 1 charisma, so I won't get a crazy amount. Still some decent money. I'll try to show you everything that I know about this game, because, I mean, it's one of my favorite games. I grew up playing this and watching the YouTubers that made videos. Katogenesis, Fudge Muppet. That's actually the inspiration for my guide. I don't do his perk set completely, but if you look at his Fallout New Vegas sniper guide, I go with the perks and the tag traits. And, the special skills. So that is not my idea. That is from Fudge Muppet's video, and I'll leave a link to that as well in the description. And right here is one of the first start battle caps you can get. And hopefully I'll be able to get to that quest and show you guys that. It's actually one of my favorite quests in the game. If you have any ideas for builds or playthroughs you'd like to see, what mods I'd like, what mods you'd like me to play with. Mods are, of course, if they're proper mods that will run okay. Because unfortunately I don't have the best rig, but I mean, I run New Vegas great. I'm happy with it. But, and just let me know if there's any mods or anything you want me to do. I'm happy to do it. Also, caps in this game are nuts. You can get really easy money so quick, especially when you hit Vegas. I have a luck of 10. I can just grind out on the blackjack tables, make a crap ton of money. I think you get like 29,000 caps by the time you're done at every casino. And I already have about 1,000.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not going to buy something, get out.
What the hell is your problem?
I'm honestly not a fan of graphics mods, just because New Vegas is a game from 2010. It's not supposed to look like a AAA title from 2021. So I've always been fine with the standard look of it. Maybe some, like, clarity. I like clarity because I'm not a fan of the yellow tint of New Vegas.
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon.
I overheard your argument. What was that all about?
Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this trader, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him.
Where's Ringo now?
He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill.
Why not just kill Cobb and be done with it?
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum. He can bluster and threaten all he wants.
What are you gonna do?
Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him.
Powder gangers?
Chain gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from California to work on the rail lines. Problem is, it turns out that giving convicts a bunch of dynamite and blasting powder isn't the best idea. It was a big escape not too long ago. Some of them stuck together so they could make trouble. That's what we're dealing with now.
Never mind, I want to talk about something else.
All right.
What happens if I help Ringo?
If you were able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Goodsprings. I'd even set you up with a discount. Of course, helping Ringo would also make the powder gangers mad, and they've got a lot of friends out there.
So I help Ringo, and Goodsprings will like me more. What if I help the powder gangers?
Don't know why you'd want to do a thing like that. Yep, you'd get on their good side, but people around here wouldn't appreciate it one bit.
Who's that man you were arguing with?
He's a convict, just without the chains. Said his name was Cobb. Powder gangers is what they call themselves. Plenty more like him out there.
Trying to track down the people who attacked me. Know anything about them?
Not much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor, by accident, and it hasn't been working since.
Did my attackers say where they were going?
They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back.
Why's that?
That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
So where were they headed?
I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fella wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
Want me to take a look at your broken radio?
Sure,
Okay,
the
skills
outside
gonna
looks
help out with
okay,
that.
but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world. And that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman.
Do you know the robot that rescued me?
I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me.
What does he actually do around here?
Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before.
You don't like him?
It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy.
How long has he been in Goodsprings?
It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was.
Never mind, let's talk about something else.
Fine by me.
Alright, we're gonna go fix
Be
your
careful
radio.
out there.
talk to her, get the XP for it, and then we'll go talk to Ringo. An examination of the radio's internal components revealed that several parts and connections were popped loose when the radio hit the floor. It should be a fairly simple repair job to get the radio working again. And I easily have a repair of 20 or greater. There we go. It's all fixed.
Feeling thirsty? I can take care of that.
I fixed your radio.
Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after you got done tinkering with it. Here's some caps for the work.
Thanks for the caps.
You're welcome. So can I get you anything?
Goodbye.
Be careful out there.
We'll take the back door. Whenever the courier asks about, like, oh, what are powder gangers? He actually isn't suffering from amnesia, as many people think. It's mainly there just for us, for players to understand, oh, that's what a powder ganger is. Oh, that's what a death claw is. Stuff like that.
That's close enough. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
Not an enemy. That's what you're asking.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. What say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan? You know how to play?
Did you know there's a man named Joe Cobb looking for you?
Yeah. He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight.
What are you going to do about the powder gangers?
I'm gonna lay low for as long as I can, assuming the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no chance against the gang on my own.
Maybe I can help.
We'd just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also on board...
I'll ask around and see who I can round up.
Start with Sunny Smiles. She's been friendlier than most around here.
This gas station's a really good place to just pick up some extra stuff. You can get some Sunset Sarsaparilla, some alcohol to sell. There's a few stim packs back here. There are a few magazines, but I think I grabbed them for the most part. Actually really funny because you can lockpick that safe, but these are the only two things owned by Joe Cobb, so you can basically take everything here. Even from the duffel bag, which would presumably be his, but I guess it's not. What's my lockpick skill? That's another good third special skill to just boost up lockpick, yeah. Well, these are a really nice skill to have. Here's time gunfight. I think for this, I'll probably be siding with the NCR for the most part, just because it really fits the sneak sniper playstyle. And me personally, I love the NCR. They're my favorite faction in the game. I mean, they're kind of bad with the whole tax thing, but besides that, I think they're the best choice for the Mojave.
Hi there. Sticking around Goodsprings for a while longer?
I'm gonna help Ringo take on the powder gangers. I might need your help.
Say no more. I'm in.
Well, that was easy.
Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo. But I know his type. He and his friends will come after the town eventually. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people around here look up to Trudy. If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks in town might decide to help out as well. I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere. And Chet just got a shipment of leather armor we could borrow. Talk to them as well. Finally, there's a good chance we'll all end up with extra holes in us. So if Doc Mitchell could cough up some extra stim packs, that'd be great.
Any ideas on how to convince Trudy to join us?
A silver tongue would help. Convincing Trudy that we had a good plan to win the fight would also help.
Would Chet be willing to give us his supplies?
I don't think give is in Chet's vocabulary. Even with the town at stake, he'd still make you barter with him.
How can I get Easy Pete's dynamite?
Easy Pete's pretty protective of his dynamite. You'd have to convince him you know a thing or two about explosives before you handed it over.
I need to get to Prim. Can you suggest a route?
Sure can. Take the road southeast out of town till it hits the freeway. Prim is the town with the roller coaster straight south. Can't miss it. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your gun where you can reach it easily. You never know who you'll run into. Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can.
I'm a little short on caps. I don't suppose there's any work available?
Not in Goodsprings, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these.
Magazine on locksmiths?
If the lock's too much for you to handle, reading through the magazine might give you the edge you need.
And the bobby pins?
You'll need those to pick the lock. Be careful, though. Put too much pressure on them, and they'll snap.
Alright, I'll go take a look at the safe when I get a chance.
Always happy to help someone down on their luck.
Goodbye.
I'll be waiting.
Honestly, I really like how New Vegas did quests and everything, and setting up tutorials, I guess is the best way to put it, because it didn't really just, explain it. It actually included it in dialogue in very good ways to teach you, like the whole magazine thing's giving you an edge on certain things.
So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang. It's a big risk, but I suppose you have to do what you think is right.
Alright. Near the saloon and store are good spots to stage an ambush, if I had the help.
That does sound like a good plan. Alright, you seem to know what you're doing, so you can count me in. Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't round up some more members for this militia you're creating. While everyone does own a gun, we could stand to be a little better equipped. The general store probably has what we need in stock.
Should we have...
Got a special discount for you, after what you've done for us.
So what we're hoping for is a salesman weekly for quarter. There we go.
Pleasure doing business with you.
And since I
Be
leveled
careful
up,
out there.
I can just put quarter up to 15. This is up to 25. And here we'll put repair up to 35. Continue. Intense training. Swift learner. Always the best perk to get right from the beginning. Swift learner is such a good perk. Actually, do we want Swift learner? I think I might have just been completely wrong in what I said. We're going to go intense training. And we're going to put our perception up to 8. If we do it right, near the end of the game, we can get every implant, which is insanely powerful. Oh, we can talk to Easy Pete now.
Howdy. What?
Here you've got dynamite. It'll help us beat the powder gangers.
Too dangerous. Gonna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Better to leave it buried. Safer that way.
I'm familiar with the care and handling of explosives, dynamite included.
Uh-huh. Guess you know what you're doing. I'll go dig it up and get it ready. You'll have it by the time the fighting starts.
Goodbye.
Keep your gun handy if you go poking around some of the abandoned places around here, like the schoolhouse. Critters move in there sometimes.
Now, of course, Chet, being the stingy motherfucker he is, he tries to screw you out of your money, but luckily, being that salesman weekly is going to help me out. Just sleep. It's almost true.
You looking to buy some supplies?
Show me here for sale.
Can do.
I just want to check. 3 days haven't gone by yet. No. Need supplies to fight the powder gangers.
Now just hold on. I never voted to take on the powder gangers. That's 1,000 cap investment you're talking about.
Let them take over the town then. I'm sure your business will be much better off.
You made your point. I can provide people with some leather armor and extra ammo. Sure hope it's worth it. And I'll be guarding the store while all this is going on. I have to put my business first. You understand.
Oh, of course I do, Chet. Goodbye.
Take it easy now.
Doc Mitchell is the last one we have to talk to, which is really nice because it's just free meds for the beginning of the game.
Welcome back. I had hoped you wouldn't need to come see me again so soon. What can I do for you?
Town's gonna be attacked by bandits. Anything you can do to help?
Seems like wherever I go, it's always the same. Folks just never leave each other alone. Oh, I'm not much good in a fight with my bum leg. And my supplies are scarce, but I'll give you what I can spare.
Goodbye.
You take care now.
Alright, we got the whole town with us. Let's go talk to Ringo. Let's get this fight going.
So what's going on? Did Sonny agree to help us?
Sonny's with us.
Well, I guess that means we're ready to go. Unless you think there's something else you can do.
Let's do this.
All right, I'm ready. I hope.
Time to look alive. The powder gangers are here to play. At least 6, Joe Cobb included. They look pretty mean.
Let's go.
Oh, Easy Pete came through with the dynamite. Here's your supply. I really hope I don't blow myself up. I'll be set up near the store. Let's hope that the gang doesn't manage to make it that far.
Right here is where the scope would come in handy. You just pop them off from afar. Down. He's of course the strongest enemy of the pack. Well, 2 sneak attacks set him right. So we'll be okay. Alright, there we go. By the powder gangers, but not all of them will really be aggressive towards you. We kind of
I owe you a huge favor for this. Here, these are technically Crimson Caravan funds, but I know they'll understand once I explain things.
You're welcome.
I'll stick around for a bit longer, but I'll be gone in a few days. If you ever visit New Vegas, look me up at the Crimson Caravan camp.
My time to loot these guys, because you saw that my weapon condition is critically low, so some of these guys have varmint rifles, which are really, really good to loot. And dynamite, very good. I remember you use explosives myself, but it's just good cash. And there you are. This is a guy that usually has the varmint rifle. Just go to weapons. Repair. There we go. Since I have such a high repair skill, it really helps it out. That should be everyone. And we can sell some of this stuff to Chet, and I'm actually gonna just go ahead and wait a few days. Right here. She goes by really quick.
Hello there.
Oh,
It's
good
good
old
to see a
Malcolm
friendly
Holmes.
face. I almost took you for a raider, I did. Name's Malcolm. Malcolm Holmes. Don't suppose you'd care to trade. I'm missing a few essentials and... screw this. Lying just ain't in my nature. I'll tell it to you straight. I've been following you for a good bit now.
Why were you following me?
It started off innocently enough. I was traveling, as I often do, and happened to observe you picking up one of those blue star caps. You didn't show any reaction to it, so I figured you didn't know what you'd gotten your hands on.
What's so special about these caps?
There's an old wasteland legend that says somewhere out there is a fabulous treasure from before the war. Those caps with the blue star on them, the tale goes, are the key to that treasure. They're called sunset sarsaparilla stars.
Where can I find more of these caps?
All over the place. The easiest place to find them is unopened bottles of sunset sarsaparilla. You'd think they'd all have been picked clean by now, but somehow new bottles keep appearing in the machines. Some say it's old Festus that does it, hoping someone will finally collect enough caps to earn the treasure. Other than bottles, you'll just have to scavenge. You can find caps in the unlikeliest of places, and blue star caps are no exception.
You mentioned someone named Festus. Who's that?
It's said that the treasure is guarded by a man named Festus, and he's the one who asked for the blue star caps. It's also said he's been around since the war, standing a lonely vigil, waiting for someone to come and take the treasure off his hands. That'll make him pretty damn old, but I've met a few people in my travels who claim they actually met him, and they weren't the lying type either.
So you collect these caps too?
Nah, I gave it up years ago. Too dangerous. And even if I did still collect them, I'd tell you the same. There's people out there so mad with the idea of treasure that they'll attack strangers just on the suspicion that they have some of those caps.
What kind of treasure are we talking about?
No one knows. Money, weapons, water. It is, or maybe was, something of value, and that's enough to get people motivated.
Thanks for the info, but I'll be going now.
No problem. If you do end up trying to collect more stars, watch out for a man named Alan Marks. He's killed several people for their stars already.
Alright, we'll just wait a few more days. Alright, let's go talk to my boy Chet.
Evening. That was a hell of a fight. Let's hope it doesn't bite us in the ass later on.
Show what you have for sale.
Can do.
Alright, his inventory got updated. I'm just gonna do this once, see if I can get a... And of course he doesn't have anything. Thank you, Chet, for not having a single upgrade for a long rifle. Really great of you. Easy caps, easy caps, easy caps, easy caps. I'll take some 556 from you.
Thanks.
Just because I love the upgrades, let's go through my base. They go really quick with the mods I have installed, so waiting is definitely a lot more optimized. Doesn't take a week of real time.
You looking to buy some supplies?
Show me have for sale.
Can do.
His inventory is once again updated. And he still doesn't have anything. That is really unfortunate.
Take it.
Kind of annoying, not gonna lie. We'll do 3 more days. There's none after this. We'll call it a day. Sorry about that. Didn't mean for that to happen. Accidentally tabbed out there. days I waited. If you consider this cheating, it's not. Realistically, the courier sat around and waited for
You
his
looking
truck
to buy
push
some
me supply.
supplies?
Show me what you have for sale.
Can do.
Alright, big man. Help me out. There we go. Extended mag. That's at least something. And we can sell him a sledgehammer. Let's sell that, that, and that. Actually, keep all magazines because you never know when they're going to come in handy. I never use chems. Just I'm never a fan of them. Once you get your repair skill up high enough, open repair kits are amazing. They're a lot less scarce in the J Sawyer mod. We're not playing that, so I mean, we can find them pretty easily. And another way to really get them is through dead money. Whenever we get there, you beat it, get the infinite, you basically get infinite chips, and you can get infinite stim packs and weapon repair kits as long as you find the blueprints in the game. Very good money. We'll just buy a stim pack, actually. It's so easy to get caps early game. Alright, we'll just build that.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. Take it easy now.
I just want to repair my apartment rifle real quick. Get it in a pretty good stage. Put the mod on. And another mod I have lets you actually remove some of the modifications you have on. So you're not just completely stuck with them. There we go. 8-shot magazine capacity. And I think we're gonna end the video here. Next, we'll make our way to Prim. See where the road takes us. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please drop a like, subscribe, maybe share it with some of your friends. Once again, thank you, and I will see you in the next video.